It's alive.
So we are on. It's all about the green on YouTube. My guy behind you here, setting up the computer so we can watch ourselves on the computer.
Just checking to make sure it works, he says.
Yep. Gotta get us one watcher. I am. It's live. Here we go. Hey, someone's got it. Three watching now. Say hi, Don.
All right.
Michael B. Ministries. William says, hey, guys.
They see me waving.
There we go. I love logging in on someone else's account. You know why, Don?
Not cost any money.
Nope, because then I can type comments like the Turbine guy is the greatest. And it doesn't look like it comes from me.
Okay.
Are we ready? Oh, geez, what the heck is this? Joe's always got these crazy ideas.
Just put a lapel on it.
Right there.
I got no lapel.
Just put it on your sweatshirt. They won't see it.
Jeez, are we grouchy today or
Right,
what?
right on the
Donuts weren't good enough or
Just on
something?
the collar.
Donuts weren't good enough for you?
No, I haven't had enough.
Oh boy, so I can walk around with this?
Yeah. And to turn it on, there's a little button on the top. And then the green
Right
light
on?
will go on.
I'm not gonna
No,
tell
you
you.
have to turn it on. Just push down the button.
Looks like I'm on.
And the green light is not on now.
Green light, there you go. Modern technology. Where'd you get this?
I've had it for a little while. I used it for the road show. But it's kind of nice when we do football games too, because we usually have three guys in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
So that way they can.
When you guys down interviewing players.
Mhm.
Can be professional, huh?
It's gonna get cold tonight.
32, I think. It's okay, I still got my dock in. The boat's out.
I took mine out this weekend.
We had to push a boat off of the lift. I have
There we
not
go,
seen
guys.
water this low in it.
Just wait a second. We put that in for you.
Listen to that. Holy crap, I have effects everywhere I go.
Okay. Well, welcome to It's All About the Green, and we're just quoting on the opening credits. We put those in just for Jay.
Just for me.
Because
my views are my own.
just wait a second now, Don. Does he
They
get a
are
little
mine.
bit out of character sometimes? Maybe we have to shake him down a little bit, this guy?
Well, he's,
I push the edge.
you gotta remember, he pushes a lot of wind.
He is the turbine
The
guy.
turbine guy, so he does shove a lot of wind.
Well, down in Orono, they say the wind blows because of me.
I believe
Every
that.
time it blows too much, I get the phone call from City Hall. What's going on?
Okay, this is all. It's all about the green. We're up here at DJ's in Monticello, and Don Savitsky, owner of DJ's, and also
Turbine guy.
Turbine guy is
Back
back.
at you.
He has been gone for a while. He left us. And-
I was weary.
yeah,
He was down in Florida looking for his house.
I was
I
watching
found
those
my
videos
house.
though. He posted quite a few videos.
Did you
on
like
your
some of 'em, Joe?
Turbine guy YouTube channel, right?
Did you like some of them?
Yeah.
So you can go to the Turbine Guy's channel and you can see the real events in Florida.
Yeah,
Well,
the
you
real
can
devastation.
yeah, you actually can. Bubba would drive me up and down some neighborhoods I knew of where, we knew it was pretty wrecked. And I'd stand in the back of the truck with the camera, moving it back and forth, filming it up. So I kind of showed it. And most of the people, one time I'm just driving through by myself, coming back on Blueberry Lane, and this guy, meet him halfway up. And he comes out, big long beard and all that, typical Floridian looking guy. And he's like, yeah, how's it going? And I'm going, yeah, pretty good. And I'm filming him the whole time. And he's basically like, yeah, you got any water? And I reached down and gave him my last water and said, absolutely, here you go. He said, it's exactly what I needed. You know, because people are down there working, and people stayed through that thing. And the eye, in case people don't understand on the radio here, they do on my YouTube channel, the eye of Hurricane Ian went right over my house. Just like the eye of Hurricane Charlie went right over my house in 2004. And Bubba was at his house next door for both hurricanes.
So the eye.
The eye.
So were you looking straight up through the eye?
They came out during the eye. They battened down the hatches during the eye. One of my doors got blown open, and they had to go shut that. You know, but that was the worst of our day. We lost a bunch of shingles, a little bit of tar paper in one corner, but all the paper's up there. So the house is watertight. I got some of that sticky ice shield and kind of put it up under the shingles above and tacked it in, cut it here and there. So I got the house protected till, you know, we get FEMA to deal with it. Or not FEMA, but our insurance company to look at it.
So do you have flood insurance?
Have to, because we have a mortgage down there. Would not give us a mortgage without it. I didn't want flood insurance. I'd still be happy not paying for it. We didn't have that issue. First of all, I have a stilt house, and I was required anything that was essential for the house, like the washer dryer, had to be at a 9-foot elevation or more, the 100-year flood level. So even if it did get that high and the water came up, all my priorities are above that, so I'd be safe.
That's if it did go past.
It wasn't going to go past where we were. We're kind of in the high spot of the island, and we're kind of like right in the middle towards the back. So it would have had to come all the way across everything else to get to us. And there was a lot easier places for that water to go.
So Jay picked a safe spot to live, it sounds like.
Yeah, all the vehicles are, well, kind of fine. I mean, everything's working. My solar was up and running. I got down there and battery bank's working, and my fridge is cold. My beer's cold in the fridge. What else do you want, Don?
Well, so now a question for you. How many flooded vehicles do you think are coming out of this?
A lot. My wife's friend, whose vehicle is in that, she's been driving around and said, oh, it's just fine, right? Well, they said that they're totaling it. She goes, what do you mean? Don't know if the airbags are going to go off at some point on you or not. So we have to total the vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How's that for crazy? Them airbags are supposed to save all our lives. Then when my daughter crashed, didn't go off.
Yeah, think about that. Never thought of that. Total the car just because you...
Because the airbags.
Can't they test the airbags and put new ones in?
Why not just get rid of them? Should be able to pull them out. Disconnect them. Blow them right now. Then they can't go again, right?
Just kind of set the speedometer so it can't go over 10 miles an hour. It'll probably be just fine.
So anyways, I know you guys like making fun of me and
Yeah, we
having
do.
a good
I'm
time
glad
and
you
poking
enjoyed
at
it.
me. I know you guys do. So, you know, when I was traveling down there, and you didn't get to see this, but Joe might have, I got into Iowa and I had a tire going flat. So I made it to a tire shop before it was, and you got to remember, I had a truck full of crap. I had 20 bags of shingles, I got paper, I got ice shield, I got plywood, I got solar panels, I got 50 gallons of fuel. I mean, my truck was packed as packed could be. And so I get in there, and the guy fixes a tire for free for me, which was really nice, but he broke the door handle on my driver's side.
Why do you do that?
I think he was part of karma or something, but I can't even roll the window down and open it from the outside. So I'm going to Florida for this long trip, and as soon as I hit Iowa, my driver's door is broken. I got to climb in and out the passenger side every time after that. I'm still climbing in and out the passenger side.
I got a tickle in my throat.
Yeah, because my story's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's coughing because it's unbelievable.
Yeah, so the whole trip I had to do that, in and out the passenger door.
So how much did you sell your diesel fuel for?
wasn't diesel, it was gasoline.
So how many gallons? How many?
Well, so we get down. I finally get down there. I pick Taylor up at the airport in Tampa, and we get down. And Bubba's got a couple of boats lined up for me. I just got to get to this local marina, Matlacha. Now, you might not know this, but Matlacha, you have to drive across to get over to Pine Island. It's a skinny little city kind of thing. And right before the lift bridge, about 1,000 feet of the road,
Gone.
gone. It's like the aliens came and scooped it up. And then you look, and there were buildings on either side, houses and a bait shop, and Bert's Bar. Just well-known establishment.
Was Bert's there?
Jukebox and all, pool table and all, gone. Just literally gone. And so you go up right before the bridge, there's this long-time hotel that was there, pile of sticks. All it was. So I got down there, and I knew there was going to be an issue getting across. And so Bubba had boats lined up. The coppers wouldn't let me get to the boats. It's like, really? We just got to go. No, can't go up there. You know, there's traffic issues because they're doing the road. I said, there's no traffic, and we're not going to go where they. Oh, you can't. So we drove up to Burnt Store. It's about 10 miles north. Got to the marina up there, and at the landing ended up hooking up a ride from a guy who was dropping people off back to the island. So we loaded up some fuel, my solar panels, and some other stuff. I went and parked my truck in a nice quiet spot, and for a can of gas, because he needed fuel, he gave us a ride where he was already going to go.
So how much do you think you got for that fuel?
That was priceless.
Well, that's why Jay is always thinking.
That was
He
priceless.
he said he's going to make some money with this 10 gallons of fuel he was bringing.
Well, no, I brought 50 gallons extra.
Oh,
But you know, there was people who needed it for their generators.
oh yeah.
Or whatever.
See,
So-
yep. Jing, jing, jing. I hear it already.
No, I never sold any of it, Don. It was all donated, and it was priceless donations. So we got there that night.
When they give you gold bars, you don't have to say you didn't get nothing. Go ahead.
Well, we got over there, and then Bubba picked us up on the north end of the island, and we got home. And when we got there, it sure looked like the hurricane went through. I've got pictures and I've got videos online. You can see all this. But it was so nice going in the house, and the lights were running, and everything was on. You know. So I opened the fridge. I get myself a cold beer. I could throw something in the microwave and cook myself some supper. Now my batteries are old. That was a bit of an issue. Get this, my batteries could only charge up to 10 volts instead of 13.
Why is that?
They're 12 years old.
Oh yeah, so Jay wasn't prepared as good as I thought he was.
No, not quite. But it was enough to run the fridge all night and run the ceiling fans on it.
So you kept the flies off you.
No, the screens did that. But you could keep cool enough in the hot weather to deal with it. So that was super cool. But during the day, because the batteries were there, and you had a backup power source and the grid was down, the solar panels came on, I could run everything. I could do the laundry, I could watch the TV, I could do the dishwasher, and what I do during the day is I turn the fridge and freezer all the way down, let that supercharge up cold.
So now you're telling me you didn't get nothing done because you're watching TV all day long.
No, all I did, I put out 50 videos down. And
He was
I,
busy.
I've got more coming.
You know, when it comes to stories, this is the guy, but you've got a good story too. You were at a place that's a little unique, and you put in two.
Well, we're putting in 2 gas heaters.
Why two?
Why two? Because it's a treehouse. One part of the treehouse is built for the girls, and the other part of the treehouse is built for the kings. The kings are over here, the queens are over here, and the princesses. So they each have to have heat.
Now, how big is this treehouse? I mean, it's got to be
Yeah.
a pretty big size.
Well, it's an amazing adventure. The windows are all kinds of different windows.
It's not really a tree.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's not all resting on the tree.
It is all resting on the tree.
Is it?
They might have some props here and there, but it's a tree house. And you had to duck as you walk from tree house to other houses because the big limbs were in the way.
Oh, so he's gonna make a community.
Yeah, well, for the kids. And then it has big patios overlooking this nice big pond or lake, whatever it is.
So it's got a big deck up there
Oh,
too.
it's pretty amazing, and it's got one of those jungle walks from one treehouse to the other, where the gate it's a swinging
He's got a zip line too, doesn't he?
And, well, the zip line's coming, but that, you know, when you watch Tarzan or whatever, and they go across this rickety type of
Yeah.
bridge, right?
Yeah,
Well,
where they're holding on
yeah,
to both
well,
sides.
they had to put more supports in from tree to tree because when you walk through that, it rattled both trees.
Oh, funny.
So they got rid of the rattle, and then they got things for kids to climb on down below, like the straps and stuff. So it's quite a wonder and well done. And the character of the place is kept all the way through it, which makes it super cool.
You gotta bring some pictures.
Yeah, I thought I'd start snapping some pictures right there, but I was on business.
So how soon will we be seeing one of like that at your place?
Oh, yeah.
You got a tree that you.
I'm downsizing on everything. So if my treehouse is going to be built, it's going to be on.
You're gonna upsize with solar.
Yeah, no, it's going to be built on top of the thimble.
You're gonna upsize
So
with
I don't have
solar.
to worry about it.
It's like a birdhouse instead of a treehouse.
Yeah. But I tell you what, the character of the place was totally cool. The roof go really high. They're steep. I mean, steeper than you'd ever think you'd even want to go up it. So we decided not to take the chimneys out the roof. And it's all kinds of different wood from barns and different parts of wood from Wisconsin and all kinds of areas how it's finished. And the floors were done with some kind of unique wood, half sanded and then staged. So the character of the building, there was no furniture in there next. The custom furniture is coming next. And it's truly,
How many square feet?
I would say with the lofts and everything, they're probably 600, 700 square feet each. So
That's big.
it's big.
Yeah.
When you look at it, you start laughing and grinning because it's so cool looking.
Yeah.
I'll
Our
tell you-
house in Florida is only 800.
Yeah.
So there you go. Each one's the size of a small house.
Oh, yeah. And then they got different stairways to go up. They got a spiral staircase going up. Inside they have another unique way to climb up into the
How about a
the
rope?
lofts. What?
They got a rope? Just like Tarzan, up and down?
No, that's where they're going to put in, what did I call it? 400 or 500 yard
Zip line?
zip line. Two-string zip line. I'm not sure, one takes you back and forth or whatever, but whatever it is. And that goes over the pond. So it is,
Don't let go.
don't let go. I'm sure everything they do, they have safety in mind. It is really well done.
That's what the pond is. The pond is the safety.
Well, it is a safety element, depending on how deep it is.
And this is in the summer treehouse because you're talking about putting winter heat in.
Well, yeah, no, it's insulated. For instance, the roofs that they cut around the tree, I'm not sure how that works as this thing grows, but they're big old trees. And it's tongue and groove in some areas, and then 2 inches styrofoam and then plywood sandwiched in between.
Wow.
So, I mean, the guy I talked to says it was a lot of work, and I don't doubt it. And even the railings made out of, everything was done by hand with certain wood that's in the area, so it's just cool.
This kind of proves that anything that people need to heat, you can help them do that.
You can figure it out.
Well, yeah, you can figure it out. This property is 300 and some acres. It is just beautiful. Where in the world? But the guy who owns it, I guess, owns a place in Hawaii and a big ranch. So money doesn't seem to be an object, but
It doesn't for that.
But the grandkids, I mean, this is for the grandkids. Actually, the story goes, they had the girls draw theirs and the boys draw theirs, and they took all their drawings and they tried to make it look like what they drew.
Interesting. Way interesting.
So it was a good education for those kids.
Well, it was a good education.
A great education. All you gotta do is make a drawing, and Grandpa will spend $100,000 on your present.
But you got to do a lot of thinking how that's going to look out. Grandpa's not going to put up just
Yeah.
any.
You do. Well, I gotta think there was an architect involved in the middle there somewhere.
There might be, but I think there was just a good old ingenuity. But I'm sure because some of the braces that were put in there, someone figured something out. But it's probably not that horribly difficult to use good common sense. And everything they did do, it's built.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just built right.
Interesting. So
Yeah,
it should be on that Treehouse TV
Yeah,
show.
I mentioned that, and he didn't want nothing to do with that.
You didn't, huh?
He doesn't want anybody to know.
Yeah, but it would have been It would have been a spectacle, and I'm sure there's other spectacles like that, that people have the property, the know-how and the money. I'm sure there's pretty cool things built out there.
Well, there's a
Oh,
guy
yeah.
up in Wadena, and he had the lumber mill. And he went to build a tree house, thought he was gonna start with his kids. Well, he's got a tree house now that they rent out for $150 a night. It's a huge
Really?
tree house. It's got the kitchen, it's got the loft, it's got the big patio up there. So.
Yeah, I didn't see no kitchens.
That's good, so kids won't burn it down. They should just get them old light bulb ovens like we had when we were kids.
I said maybe we got to put wood in there, wood stoves. Does anything
That he got to either, but when he came in, the inspector says, well, you gotta have this and you gotta have that. So he figures, well, if I gotta have all that stuff, I'm going
Yeah.
full bore here. You know?
Might as well. Well, most people wouldn't call an inspector for a tree house, would they?
Well,
Wouldn't they just put it in?
Not if it's probably 400 feet out.
and not if
1
you're
mile
gonna
out
rent
in the
it,
woods.
and not if
Right.
you're gonna rent it out.
And they're going to have a generator to run everything.
Quite the deal.
So when they go there and you push a button, it all starts and it's all working.
So today's story day here on.
It
It's
sure
All
as heck
Over.
is.
Jay had his stories of
Well, my story's not over.
hurricane. Jay, your story is never over. The problem
No.
is that the show gets over, and then Don doesn't have a chance
So-
to talk about his product.
So there was a union from Minnesota, North Dakota, a labor's union, that set up a hot dog tent on the corner, right when you come into Pine Island. So I made a little video about them, and I got hot dogs about every day. There were a bunch of them. There were a bunch of Christian groups down there serving food. So you never really had to make food. And then one time Bubba and I are down on the south end of the island doing a little filming, and on the way back, I noticed a bar was open. Like, really? So we went in there and they had a generator running on the coolers. They were just selling beers and wine pretty much. We had a couple of beers. I made a couple of videos there. Ran into some locals that got in it and all that.
So when does this all get back to normal after what you've seen, Jay?
Well, within 2 weeks, they actually had a road where there was no road. And I mean, I got down there, and I'd say 4 or 5 days later, you could get. I was one of the first ones over the road on the way out, and it was just dirt cobble. I mean, just whatever. And then within about 4 or 5 days after that, they had an actual tarred road with riprap on either side. So there's a road there now. But that being said, I mean, they had to have 120 to 150 bucket trucks on there for the electricians. Because I've got videos of that driving down the road and just truck after truck after truck after truck as they're putting this place back. It was, they had the power going by the time I left. The day before I left, they got the power going. So it was nice to know it was up and running. And that was within 2 weeks after the hurricane. And I mean, it was devastating. There were thousands of poles knocked over and everything. But if it ever gets back to normal, I don't know about that, because normalcy was changing down there. That island was starting to become a little crowded. You know, a lot more people, a lot more development. And to me, people are like, why did you even live there? I think this is going to spur the development, because a lot of people have insurance and a lot of their crap was wrecked. Plus, there's going to be a lot of cheap properties, because a lot of people didn't have insurance because you can't get insurance. Some of them mobile homes, you just can't get them.
So basically, they're out.
Not according to Biden. He came out and said everybody's going to get everything, and actually that's not true.
Well, you're saying that these kids are going to get this education money too, 10,000, 20,000, but I think they're going to have a hard time passing it.
Well, you know, it's funny how that stuff comes right up to the last second of the election. Are we buying votes or not? It should be illegal.
I'm going to Buffalo to get cheap gas today. Why? Because
thought you were
someone's
already
trying
there.
to buy my vote. No, on the way home. You know, when I was coming back, I was in Iowa, and gas, when I went down, they actually had gas for $2.71 a gallon in St. Louis. Which I thought, I mean,
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When I came back, it was $3.20 something a gallon in St. Louis. So it went up 50 cents in a matter of 2 weeks. You
Well,
know.
Buffalo's had a tendency of doing that too. Right now, like you say, it's that 293,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Tomorrow you could get up and it could be 369. I
Which-
mean, it
which-
doesn't go, it goes up pretty quick. you
Which is
know.
why when I came through Iowa and I found it at $3.25 a gallon, all the empty cans of gas I brought down, I filled up and brought home, and I've been running off those since.
There you
Now I'm
go.
gonna go to Buffalo and fill them all up, and the truck. I mean, that's beer money, right?
It adds up when you, at 290, what, you said 297?
293.
293,
Yeah.
because everybody else is 349 or 369. That's a
Right.
lot of money if you're filling up
And
some
you
gas.
can tell too, because when you get there, you have to wait, usually.
Yeah, there's a line.
There, and you better get behind the right guy with the right pump.
Yeah, or else you can really be there.
You
Well,
never know.
you got no idea what it's like in Florida. We used to have one gas station on the island, and so there's 3 pumps, so 3 spots on either side, and people would pull up, get out of their car, mosey in, grab themselves a couple of beers and maybe a hot dog or whatever, pay for their $10 of gas, then come out and pump. And you gotta sit there the whole time and wait for these people. Oh my goodness, really?
I would guess the price is kind of high, if that's all the availability you got for gasoline.
Well, there's another station now. That's before the other station came out there. And, you know, it typically would be a little bit higher than in town, of course. But not like what's going on here. How can it be $2.93 a gallon in Buffalo? And it's gotta be $3.45 everywhere else.
Well, you gotta go to Buffalo to get gasoline.
That's where I'm
We should
going.
talk about what people have been coming in for, and wood is the big thing, talking
Yeah,
about
no,
this
what's really
gasoline.
big? People are concerned about,
They're chopping up wood for old people on the East Coast.
no, they're all concerned about
Yeah.
power outages, not getting power, not getting gas. You hear
Yeah.
all the talk about maybe bombs, maybe this, maybe that, maybe shortages. So they got people concerned, kind of goes back to YK2, or when
Y2K.
YK2, what's the difference? And
The difference is how they're said.
well, I always, so when I change a statement like that, the world's a change, Joe. I mean,
Y2000 versus YK2?
yeah, kindergarten.
Why kindergarten 2?
Kindergarten 2, because that's what we're playing.
It
We're
is
playing
kindergarten.
kindergarten.
We've
But
been playing
anyway,
that for
the
a
word
while.
is wood, and you can help people out, Don.
Yeah, wood stoves. They're hard to get. We have several left. If you're interested in high efficiency, 26% tax credit from the government.
30%.
Well, no, it's 26 this year. And the 26% this year has no, you can spend as much as you have to. There's no limit. So it works. And I'm not promising anybody 30 because I know it's 26. So
And if it happens to be 30, that's a bonus.
that's a bonus. Let the tax man figure that out. But there's limits. So I think it works better on some of these because they pay for the build up, whether if it's sitting on stone, the platform, the chimney, the labor, everything.
All costs incurred.
All costs incurred. It ain't going to be like that in the future. So,
No, you're going to be paying for it in the near future.
yeah, we're all going to be paying for it.
So, you mentioned the wood stoves, and people, also they can check out the wood fireplaces. And again, you've got all kinds of fireplaces here, up here at the Monticello store, and you're located right after the I-94 bridge, and right between the river bridge there, right on the main drag. You want to come up and take a look at the showroom of all of the different fireplaces you have. And again, you got the wood stoves, you got the gas stoves, you got the electric stoves.
Yeah, I started up a new one this morning, and I loaded up with maybe a half a load of wood. And this is probably the most efficient wood stove out there. It's 81%.
That's the one burning right now.
Yeah,
Boy, is that warm.
81%. And I've never burnt one before, so I'm trying to figure it out. And it has no controls. You determine how much heat it's going to put out by how much wood you put in it.
Oh, really?
But if you load it up, it can go 15, 16 hours. But it's going to be giving you're probably not going to want to do that unless it's getting pretty chilly outside.
Because it's going to start out hot.
It puts out a lot of heat when I walk.
Oh
by
no,
it,
it's
definitely.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And it wasn't great wood I put in there, just wood.
It's not a very big box either, really.
Well, it actually is. When you open that
Oh,
door,
it
you
is.
can probably
It
shove
doesn't-
quite a bit of wood in there.
It doesn't look like it's a very big.
But it has the catalytic converter in it. Once you get into the active zone, you shut it, and then it goes to work. And it's got an unbelievable fire too. I mean, it's giving you a beautiful fire all the way through. So Most of them don't do that.
Right.
So what they've done is engineered this to be the most efficient, see? No matter where, how much wood you got in there. It's 81% efficient.
Yeah.
And you don't, there's no adjustments that changes that.
Yeah,
So it's
What
done
it
by,
is what it is.
it's done by the wood you put in. So if it ain't too cold out, don't overload it.
All right, so just,
Interesting.
we got some
That's
interesting
efficient.
facts
How
and
efficient?
stories today.
How efficient are normal?
Probably 65,
It's another 15%.
70, somewhere in there.
Wow.
But that's a lot.
That is a lot.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and
You
it,
know, we're gonna continue this conversation.
Yeah, Joe's not having, you
Right.
can see
We're
Joe
gonna
fidgeting.
We're gonna continue
Joe's
the conversation
Another
next
day.
week, because we got another session of this coming up. Again, it's all about the green live from DJs in Monticello, again, 3:30 to 4. Every Tuesday afternoon, we invite you to come and be a part of it, and better yet, come out and join us here at the store, get right here in Monticello. And again, thanks a lot, Don, for having us in.
yep, thanks for coming, Joe. Thanks for the coffee
And donuts.
and donuts.
Well, he can be done, but we don't have to.
No,
We're
you
still
can
going.
continue.
Yeah, we still have live, how many people we got on?
Let's go check.
6. Hey, y'all.
Hey, 6 lucky people.
See how long they'll stay.
Can we keep you to midnight?
Can they?
No,
can
we
they
ain't gonna be here till midnight.
Can they let us know what, maybe they have a question for you?
Well, they would. Let me go, here, I'll check
Yeah,
out. You guys can all look at Don
let's
quick.
get
I'll
some
see if we got any
interaction.
Yeah,
questions.
check me out. That's a project in a half. So Jay's over at the computer looking to see if anybody has a question out there.
No, just comments. Sounds like a good place to be a kid. Must have been talking about the treehouse.
Yep.
So some green is to be made helping clean up the disaster. Yeah, you can make money.
A lot of.
You know, last time, it's too late though, I think. Last time so many more trees were knocked down and stuff. Some guy who was driving through the, up the street, scooping shit and putting it into a bucket or into a truck, said he bought his Bobcat just to come down here and do that, and he'd already paid it off.
Oh, I'm sure.
They ain't cheap, you know?
No. I have a friend that as a tree service was gonna go down, but I think he changed his mind. He had to almost get a loan to go down. But last time he went down, it was like 150,000.
Yeah.
But he has all the licenses and lifetime licenses from Florida for certain things he had to get.
Yeah.
And I think he probably would have went, but he's building a house and remodeling one, and he has a project on his head. So I don't think he went, but he was itching to go.
There's a lot of work to do down there now. A lot of work.
He has all that tree equipment. Now you can take a 8-inch log. I guess his tree service will grind it right up.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
Why don't you want to build something with that log? Why does everyone want to get rid of them?
Well, first of all, it depends what kind of wood it is, and then what they do is they got to get rid of it. So maybe they put it around as mulch around the house. Who has the slightest idea? Mulch has got to come from somewhere.
Has China stopped? They stopped taking our recycling and garbage. Are they done taking our pulp?
Yeah, well, I know one thing: they're taking our gold wherever they can get it,
And our oil.
and our oil. They'll take it.
Well, I do have to get going though. I got to head down to Buffalo. I've got an appointment at 4:30.
He's got an appointment at the gas station.
No, although I do have, I don't have an appointment, but I will be there. But no, I got a client who had a company sell him a solar system, got the equipment to his house, and then disappeared.
Does
Fun.
that happen often?
No, I've not heard a lot about that happening, but I mean, I got to get down there and see what I can do to help the guy. He called during the show, so I got to call him back. Down to 5 people watching.
Does-
Okay,
does
so
Don
the
get a
show's
piece-
going to come to an end.
Don get a piece of that then, if it's during Don's show?
Oh,
Yeah,
hell no.
I get a piece of everything.
Yeah, I tell you what, Don, you can have 10% of my pay for today. For
Good.
today's show. So actually, I'll tell you what, I will give you all of my pay for today's show.
Yeah.
You heard that.
And
All
I was
Don's
gonna,
gotta
I
do
was
is
gonna
collect
give
from
him
Joe.
$10,000
I
for
think-
today's show. Thank you, Jay.
All you gotta do is collect from Joe.
I think we do it on later terms, when that,
Turbine guy signing off.
when that, the job gets done, then we'll talk.